Hey guys, what is up? Lucifer here with another deck profile with replays for you. So before I start this, I got to apologize for not being able to post very much. Camstasia was giving me a hard time. I was in Japan, as a few of you may know. But yeah, now that I'm back at it, I got a really interesting deck profile for you, sent in by our very own Black Flame Dalek. He's a great duelist who uses really creative decks, and I've seen most of them be able to beat meta. Like, it's really very interesting concept. This one, as you can see, it revolves around using Exodia pieces and normal monsters to recycle themselves, and gods really just because they're easy to special summon. It uses a lot of rank ones as well, and it's not much else to say besides the fact that it's a really interesting deck. So just a little disclaimer right now, I'm not going to grade it with the exact same ways that I will grade other decks, mainly because it is so far from meta. It can keep up in tier 3 maybe, something like that, but it is nowhere near tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 in reality. This deck would normally be at around a tier 8 or something, I don't even know, but it's really an interesting deck idea. So the main, I'd say, boss monster of the deck would be this guy right here, Summoned Lord Exodia. And he's really good on his own. He's unaffected by other cards' effects, so Ignis or nothing can't touch him. With the right combo, if you get two of them in hand, it can really be just great on the field to have. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to the replays. Alright guys, so we're back at that point in the video where I rate the deck based off of versatility, difficulty, recovery, and consistency in that order. So as usual, we're going to start with versatility. Versatility, I've decided to give the deck a 5 out of 10. The reasoning behind this is because it's not a very flexible build, it's not a, I should say, versatile build in general, but it comes with this strange feeling of unexpectedness. No one knows what to side against this, and to be honest, anyone seeing a 4K beater that's unaffected by other card effects on their field is always going to feel really intimidated. I had a few people leave just because I had the combo between Exodia on the field and the Obliterate Trap card activated. I could just keep looping it. He would stay at 3K, and every time they would try to do anything, I would just bounce it back to their hand. Really, it was a, I don't want to say broken combo, but it was something that would be really difficult for people to get over. Plus, there's not to mention the fact that the Egyptian gods always pack a punch. There's no way you look at it. You're not going to say they're bad cards. They might not always be worth it, but the cards themselves are powerful. Obelisk, as you saw, really packed a punch whenever I got to attack with him. And frankly, again, it's not something that people expect very much, and they can't bottomless it either. It's really just this very strange build. I don't know what else to call it. I wouldn't say that it's in the same thing as top tier, as, for example, when I was given this build, Dalek straight up told me, hey, it can compete with meta, but it's not really, made to do that, and I could see why. It competes maybe tier 2 or tier 3, but like I said, it still does have these crazy aspects. You can go into rank 1s, and with that new archive card, you can go into other XZs. It's really just, again, a deck that pulls a lot of stuff out of its sleeve. So for that reason, I've given it a 5 out of 10 for versatility. For difficulty, I've decided to give this deck a 6.5 out of 10. The reason behind this is because it's not hard to play, but it's not easy either. I mean, a lot of people can just go for the draw tactics or just straight up trying to get Exodia the entire time. But there's other bigger plays you can really go into. It takes a little bit of thinking. It's feels kind of like playing an actual board game. Like, it's really a different style of deck to play, and there's not much else to say. So for that reason, I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10 for difficulty. So for recovery, I've decided to give the deck another 6.5 out of 10. The reason behind this is because you really have to rely on what you draw or top deck or whatever in order to make a comeback. You got to make sure you have the right cards at the right time, and that your grave can be set up, or that you don't have too much crap in your hand. The whole point is that, yeah, in general, you need to make sure that you have what's needed at the right time. Otherwise, recovery is going to be a complete pain in the ass. You got to stall a little bit, or really just got to hope. I've had a few times where I would draw into a card that lets me draw instead of something that I needed to revive to make a rank 1 play or anything like that. It's really just a lot based on luck in terms of needing the recovery. However, when you do hit that recovery, you hit it really hard. You can really do some explosive plays, some great plays with that, and that's really times that the deck shines, when you can really show off these unexpected plays to the opponent, and 9 out of 10 times come out on top. So for this reason, I've given them a 6.5 out of 10 for recovery. So finally, we're here on our final rating of consistency. So for consistency, I've decided to give this deck a 7 out of 10. I gotta be honest, it really didn't give me too many dead hands. There's always some kind of play, and there's a ton of draw power in this deck. When I say a ton, I mean it. There's really nothing stopping you from being able to recycle your hand and get a new one in case the first one doesn't really suit you too well. As you can see in my last replay, I recycled quite a bit. But, there's really no real chances for you to start off as dead as you could in a lot of other decks. I've braked harder in Blue Eyes than I have in this deck, to be honest, and I can see some open areas for bricks in this deck, but it hasn't hit me, and maybe it's because I'm lucky, or maybe it's just because of the ratios, but overall, I gotta say, I like it. It's a fun deck to play. It's got a 7 out of 10 for consistency, which is fairly high if you think about it. And, yeah, it really stands its ground against a lot of other decks that you really can't see it doing so. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time for more deck profiles. And, of course, here, peace out, guys.